I've had my share of dark days. I placed one foot in front of the other, found one word, then another. My recovery is a daily battle, but it is a battle that makes me stronger. Words used to come easily to me. Now, I struggle to speak, but I have not lost my voice. The Philippines needs every one of us to stand up, even if it's difficult to find the right words. We can protect our families, our futures, vote, and be on the right side of history. Good day to all of you and to everyone who hears my voice. I am Mary Grace Andrade, and I am your aspiring Philippine President. The Commonwealth Government is currently developing and utilizing its resources to meet the anticipated problems of future. Great questions regularly arise in the realms of economics, politics, industry, social science, education, national security, and the consequences of today's solutions will reverberate indefinitely into the future. None of these questions is more important than providing adequate security and developing the means and methods that will ensure reasonable protection for the nation once it has been completely freed of all outside control and coincidentally stripped of all outside support. The COVID-19 pandemic has resulted in a dramatic loss of human life around the world and poses an unprecedented challenge to public health, food systems, and the world of work. The pandemic's economic and social effects are devastating. I am really happy I have given a chance to speak to you today because of the importance of future Filipino well-being. What would you do if a member of your immediate family announced that you were marrying someone of a different race? What about someone who owns a gun? Or someone who does not believe in the existence of God? Consider moving to a new neighborhood. Would it be important to you to live in an area where the majority of people share your political views? Consider elected people in Washington who share your views on the nation's most pressing issues. Should they collaborate with elected officials who disagree with them, even if it results in policies you don't like? In effect, these questions we're asking: can you work with, live with, and even love individuals who aren't like you? The responses indicated that empathy was in critically short supply, and follow-up data from the Pew Research Center suggest that the situation is only getting worse. Many citizens are retreating into ideological silos in which their political views determine not only how they vote, but also who they befriend, where they live, and how they define political progress. Media experts warned that too many of us learning about and responding to these challenges from news outlets and social networks that reflect our existing opinions and biases back to us, creating an echo chamber effect. Of all, it would be a strange form of knowledge if it had no practical implications, and this is perhaps especially true in the social sciences. However, there is a distinction to be made between broadening one's understanding of human behavior and society and attempting to address a social problem. The social sciences are distinct from social problem solutions, yet each can benefit the other. In recent years, there has been a substantial shift in public perceptions of social change and social problems in the United States. A renewed determination to ameliorate certain long-standing as well as recently developed societal problems has emerged, along with a sense of power and confidence in its ability to do so. In search of ways to implement this desire for self-control, for directed rather than accidental improvement, a growing number of society's leaders have turned to social sciences with increasing expectation. Some have questioned what the social sciences can provide to the project. Others have concluded that the sciences have a lot to give to a better society and that all they need is to be pressured in order to grow faster and make a bigger contribution. As your prospective president, I will also speak up and take action on humanitarian issues that prioritize women's needs, rights, and empowerment. Longer funding cycles are required to enable us to take an empowerment approach to those we serve, effectively engaging civil society in the response not only as contracted service providers but also as planners, leaders, advocates for their constituencies, and ensuring adequate funding for women and girls' priorities, as well as ensuring that our interventions, such as those to support livelihoods, do not inadvertently sideline women. This speech examines key questions around what it means to know God, even when intellectually one might not know anything about God. At the very beginning of the public life of Jesus, it's recorded this way in Mark's Gospel. Jesus begins his public preaching by proclaiming, "The reign of God is at hand. Change your lives." The reign of God is at hand. Reign to bring forth. Come into our human history. Transform our world into as close an image of that reign of God as possible. It's here. It's ready to break forth. If we isolate sustainability in one part of our lives, we will not be able to improve our society. Instead, we must recognize and seek out linkages between various activities at work, at home, at school, and in the community. Why is leadership important? I also believe that service is a part of leadership, but it's not the whole thing, because you should be with someone who can stand up and give the batch a sense of direction, and I believe I'm a woman who is capable of this position. I alone cannot change the world, but I can cast a stone across the water to create many ripples. Again, I am Mary Grace Andraje, your aspiring President of the Republic of the Philippines.